Have you ever looked at a website and wondered how it's made? Behind every web page there's a special language called HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the foundation of the web, like the building blocks of a website. HTML is essential for web development. It tells web browsers like Chrome or Firefox how to display content. Think of it as a set of instructions that dictate the structure and content of a web page. Without HTML, websites wouldn't exist as we know them. Learning HTML is like learning a new language. But don't worry, it's much simpler than you think. This guide will take you through the basics, providing a solid understanding of HTML and its importance in web development. HTML is a markup language. This means it uses special codes called tags to structure and format content. These tags tell the browser what each part of the code represents. For example, there are tags for headings, paragraphs, images, and more. Why is HTML so important? Because it's the backbone of every website. It provides the structure and content that browsers use to display web pages. Without HTML, websites would just be jumbled messes of text and images. Understanding HTML is crucial for anyone who wants to work with websites, from web designers to developers and content creators. Let's break down some basic HTML tags. This tag tells the browser that the following code is HTML. It's the root element of every HTML page. This tag contains information about the HTML document, like the title and links to external resources. This tag specifies the title of the HTML document, which is displayed in the browser's title bar or tab. This tag contains the visible content of the HTML document, such as text, images, and links. These tags work together to create the basic structure of an HTML document. Let's look at a simple example of HTML code. HTML, my first web page, hello world. This is my first paragraph. In this example, we have the basic HTML structure with the I and tags. Inside the body, we have a tag for a level 1 heading and a tag for a paragraph. This simple code snippet demonstrates how HTML tags are used to create structured content on a web page. Section 5, a glimpse into HTML's history. HTML has come a long way since its inception in the early 1990s. It was created by Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist, while he was working at CERN. The initial version of HTML was quite simple, but it laid the foundation for the World Wide Web as we know it today. Over the years, HTML has evolved significantly. New versions have been released, introducing new tags, features, and capabilities. Today, HTML5 is the latest standard, offering a wide range of tools for creating rich and interactive web experiences. Understanding the history of HTML provides context and appreciation for its current state and future potential. Section 6. Practical tips for HTML novices. Here are some practical tips for beginners learning HTML. Start with the basics. Focus on understanding the fundamental tags and their functions before moving on to more advanced concepts. Practice regularly. The best way to learn HTML is to practice writing code. Start with simple examples and gradually increase the complexity. Use a text editor. Use a dedicated text editor like Notepad++ or Sublime Text to write HTML code. These editors provide features that make coding easier and more efficient. Validate your code. Use an HTML validator to check your code for errors and ensure it follows web standards. Don't be afraid to experiment. HTML is a forgiving language, so don't be afraid to experiment with different tags and attributes to see what they do. By following these tips, beginners can steadily improve their HTML skills and build a strong foundation for web development. Section 7. Conclusion. In this introductory guide, we've explored the fundamentals of HTML, from its definition and importance to basic tags and simple examples. We've also touched upon its historical evolution and provided practical tips for new learners. Remember, HTML is the foundation of the web. It's the language that brings websites to life. By understanding HTML, you unlock the ability to create your own web pages and contribute to the vast world of the internet. Continue practicing, exploring, and building upon the knowledge you've gained, and you'll be well on your way to mastering HTML and web development. Section 8, further resources, W3 Schools HTML tutorial, https://w.w3schools.com/html/Mozilla Developer Network, MDN, HTML documentation, http://developer.mozilla.org/n-us/doc/web/html Code Academy. Learn HTML https://www.codeacademy.com/learn/learn-html. These resources offer comprehensive guides, tutorials, and references for learning HTML. Section 9, Glossary, HTML, Hypertext, Markup Language, the language used to create web pages. Tags, special codes that define elements in an HTML document. Attributes, additional information added to HTML tags to modify their behavior. Web browser, a software application used to access and display websites. Web development, the process of creating and maintaining websites.